There are 8 truths a Muslim can tell themselves every single morning. Not affirmations invented from within. Not sentences designed to trick the brain into positivity. Truths. Already true. Already real. Already written into the fabric of what Allah has designed for the believer's life. And when you begin your morning remembering them, everything about the day that follows changes. Before your alarm went off this morning, before the sun rose and the world stirred and the first sounds of the day began filtering through your window, this day already existed. Not as a possibility, not as a rough plan waiting to be finalized, as a written, complete, fully known reality in the knowledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Every meeting you will walk into today, every conversation that will surprise you, every difficulty that will arrive unexpectedly, every moment of ease you did not see coming, every provision that will reach you from a direction you never anticipated. All of it already written. Before you were born, before your parents were born, before this earth was created and placed spinning in its orbit, Allah already knew this day, already wrote it, already held it completely in His knowledge. And here is what that means for the weight that arrived when you opened your eyes this morning. That weight, the anxiety about what might happen today, is the feeling of trying to control something that was never in your hands to begin with. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said something that should change the way every believer greets their morning. Know that what has passed you by was never going to befall you, and what has befallen you was never going to pass you by. What was written for you will reach you. What was not written for you cannot reach you. No matter what you do, no matter how much you worry, no matter how many scenarios you run through in those early morning moments before your feet touch the floor, the outcome of today was already known before today began. And the one who wrote it has never once made a mistake. Think about what that means practically. The meeting you are dreading, already written. The conversation you do not know how to have, already written. The financial pressure sitting on your chest, already written, along with its resolution. You are not walking into an unknown today. You are walking into a day that Allah already knows completely. And a day that is fully known by Allah is a day that is fully held by Allah. You do not need to control today. You just need to walk into it. Let me ask you something honest. What is the hardest part of a difficult day? Not the difficulty itself, not the hard conversation or the unexpected problem or the moment when everything seems to be going wrong at once. The hardest part is the feeling that you are facing it alone. That no one fully understands what you are carrying. That no one is beside you in the specific way you need them to be. That when you walk into the room where the difficult thing is waiting, you are walking in by yourself. That feeling is one of the most exhausting things a human being can carry. And it is also, for the believer, not true. Not even slightly true. Because before you take a single step into today, before you face a single difficult moment, before the day has had a chance to deliver a single unexpected thing, Allah is already there. Not waiting at the end of the day to see how it went. Not checking in occasionally to make sure things are moving along. There, completely, in every moment, in every room. In every difficult conversation and uncertain outcome and quiet moment of struggle that no one around you even knows is happening. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, and whoever relies upon Allah, He is sufficient for him. He is sufficient. not helpful, not supportive, not one resource among many that you can draw on when things get hard. Sufficient, complete, enough, all by himself. Think about someone walking into a meeting they have been dreading for days. The kind of meeting that has been sitting in the back of their mind since it was scheduled. Heart beating slightly faster than usual. Mind rehearsing every possible scenario. And then, just before they open the door, they stop for a moment. They remember, Allah is with me in this room. Not as a comforting thought, as a reality, and something in the chest settles. Not because the meeting became easier or the outcome became certain, but because they stopped walking into it alone. That is what this truth does to a morning. It takes every difficult thing the day might hold, every uncertain outcome, every hard conversation, every moment that feels too large for the person facing it, and it places Allah beside you in all of it. You are not walking into today alone, not into any part of it, and that changes everything about how it feels to begin. I want you to think about something that happens to most people before they have even left their bedroom. The financial calculation begins. Before the first cup of tea, before the first conversation, before the day has made a single demand on your time or your energy, the numbers are already running. Is there enough? Will there be enough? What if something unexpected arrives? What if the income changes? What if the plan does not work and the weight that was already sitting on the chest when you woke up gets a little heavier? Most people carry this calculation with them through the entire day. It runs in the background of every meeting, every conversation, every quiet moment. A low, constant, exhausting hum of financial uncertainty that never fully quiets. But the believer has access to a truth that can dissolve that hum before the day has even properly begun. Your provision for today was already written before you opened your eyes. Not approximately, not pending your performance or your planning or your ability to make the right decisions at the right moments. Written, guaranteed, allocated by Al-Razzaq, the provider. The one whose name means that providing is not something he does occasionally, but something he is eternally. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said something that every person carrying financial anxiety needs to hear in the quiet of the morning. No soul will die until it has received all of its provision. So fear Allah and be moderate in your seeking. No soul will die until it has received all of its provision. Every single thing that was written for you will reach you. Not most of it. Not the portion you managed to secure through your own effort. All of it. Think about that for a moment. The provision that is yours cannot be taken from you. No circumstance can redirect it. No person can intercept it. No market fluctuation can reduce it. What Allah wrote for you is already on its way to you. Your job this morning is not to generate your provision through sheer force of worry and calculation. Your job is to do your honest part. Make your effort. And trust Al-Razzaq with the outcome. Think about someone who wakes up with financial pressure already pressing on their chest, and instead of immediately reaching for their phone to check their bank balance, they sit for just a moment and they remember, Al-Razzaq has never once forgotten a single creature whose provision he agreed to carry. Not the bird that wakes up without a savings account and goes to sleep having been fed. Not the fish in the depth of an ocean no human eye has ever seen. Not the ant moving through the darkness beneath the ground. And not you. Your provision for today was written before today began. Your morning does not need to start with financial panic. It can start with that truth instead. There is a specific kind of morning anxiety that has nothing to do with what you know is coming. It is the anxiety of what you do not know. the unexpected phone call, the email that arrives with news you were not prepared for, the conversation that takes a turn you did not anticipate, the problem that surfaces from a direction you never thought to watch. It is the anxiety of the unknown morning. The feeling that today could hold anything, and you have no way of knowing what that anything might be, and no guarantee that you will have what it takes to handle it when it arrives. And that feeling is exhausting before the day has even started. But here is what the believer knows that makes the unknown morning feel completely different. You are never without help. Not for a single moment of this day. Not in the unexpected phone call or the difficult email or the conversation that goes sideways or the problem that arrives from nowhere. In every single one of those moments, you have access to something that no human resource, no support network, no amount of preparation can replicate. Direct access to Allah. Not through an intermediary, not after a waiting period, not with a limit on how many times you can call or how small the thing you are calling about seems at any moment of this day. In any room, in any situation, you can stop. You can turn your heart toward Allah. You can whisper a dua that takes 10 seconds to say, and you are immediately connected to the one who controls everything that is happening around you. Think about what that means practically. You walk into a meeting and something unexpected happens. Everyone around you is scrambling. The room fills with stress and uncertainty and the noise of people trying to figure out what to do next. And you step aside for 60 seconds. You whisper something honest and simple to Allah. Ya Allah, I do not know what to do right now. Guide me, help me, show me the way through this. And you return to the room carrying something no one else in that room has. Not a solution, not certainty, but a connection, a settledness, a quiet knowledge that the one who holds everything that is happening, I just heard you. That is not a small thing. That is the most powerful resource available to a human being in any moment of difficulty. And it is available to you in every moment of today. Without exception. You do not know what today holds, but you know who holds today, and you can reach him anytime you need to. There is a belief that quietly settles into the heart of many believers during difficult seasons. It does not announce itself loudly. It does not arrive as a dramatic crisis of faith. It seeps in slowly. Through the accumulation of hard days and unanswered questions and difficulties that do not seem to have a purpose. And it sounds like this. Maybe Allah is displeased with me. Maybe this difficulty is a sign that I have done something wrong. Maybe I am being punished. Maybe if I were a better Muslim, a stronger believer, a more deserving person, things would not be this hard. And that belief, on top of the difficulty itself, is almost unbearable. Because now the person is not just carrying the weight of the struggle, they are carrying the weight of feeling abandoned by the one they were counting on to help them through it. But Islam tells a completely different story about difficulty. A story that does not begin with punishment and does not end with abandonment. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ described the life of the believer with words that should be read every single morning. How wonderful is the affair of the believer, for all of his affairs are good. If something good happens to him, he is grateful, and that is good for him. If something bad happens to him, he is patient, and that is good for him. All of his affairs are good. Not some, not the easy ones, not the ones that feel like blessings, all of them. The difficulty that arrived this morning is good for you, not because it feels good, not because it is easy, but because in the hands of Allah, nothing that touches a believer's life is wasted. Nothing is purposeless. Nothing is simply pain without direction. Every struggle is process. It is purifying something, building something, removing something that needed to go, elevating something that needed to rise, teaching something that ease alone could never have taught. Think about the hardest thing you are currently facing. The thing that arrives in your mind in the quiet of the morning before you are fully ready to face it. Now consider this. Allah allowed that thing into your life, not by accident, not in a moment of inattention, deliberately, with full knowledge of what it would cost you and full knowledge of what it would produce in you. And the one who allowed it in is the same one who is walking with you through it. Your struggle today is not a sign that Allah forgot you. It is a sign that He is still working on you. And the one doing the work knows exactly what He is building. Can I tell you about a feeling that visits almost every person in the quiet of the morning? Not the big fears, not the dramatic crises, just a quiet, persistent, deeply familiar whisper that arrives somewhere between waking up and getting out of bed. I am not sure I am enough for today. The meeting that requires a confidence you do not feel. The responsibility that feels larger than the person carrying it. The conversation that demands a wisdom you are not sure you possess. The day that seems to require a version of you that is slightly more capable, more prepared, more together than the version that actually woke up this morning. And so you begin the day already feeling behind, already feeling like you are starting from a deficit, already measuring yourself against what today seems to need, and finding yourself slightly short. That feeling is one of the most common and most quietly damaging ways a morning can begin. And Islam has a truth that speaks directly into the center of it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, Allah does not burden a soul beyond that which it can bear. Read that again slowly. Allah does not burden a soul beyond that which it can bear. Not beyond what it feels like it can bear, not beyond what it confidently believes it can bear, beyond what it actually can bear. And Allah knows the difference between those things far better than you do. Which means the day that is waiting for you this morning, with everything in it, was not placed in front of you by accident. It was not assigned to you by a God who miscalculated your capacity or overestimated what you were ready for. It was given to you by the one who designed you, who knows every strength you have, including the ones you have not discovered yet, who knows exactly what you are capable of, even when you have forgotten. Think about someone who wakes up dreading a difficult conversation they need to have today, feeling completely unequipped, rehearsing all the ways it might go wrong, convinced that they do not have what it takes to handle it well. And then this truth landing in their heart, Allah did not place this conversation in my day without placing what I need to have it inside me. Not perfection, not eloquence, not the ability to control how the other person responds. Just enough. Enough clarity, enough patience, enough presence. And enough is all today is asking for. You were not assigned today by mistake. Allah designed you, and then He designed today. And He did not make an error in matching the two. You are not behind. You are not inadequate. You are not the wrong person for what this day requires. You are exactly who Allah made for exactly this day. And that is more than enough. Let me ask you something. Have you ever looked at your day and felt that none of it really matters? Not in a dramatic way, not a crisis, just a quiet, deflating sense that today is just another ordinary day, another set of tasks to get through, another routine to survive, another 24 hours that will pass largely unremarkably, leaving no real trace of significance behind. The alarm, the commute, the emails, the meetings, the school run, the cooking, the cleaning, the collapsing into bed at the end of it all. And you wonder, quietly, privately, does any of this actually mean anything? That feeling is one of the most subtle and most damaging ways the morning can begin. Because when the day feels meaningless before it starts, you show up to it differently, with less presence, less intention, less of the quiet care and attention that transforms an ordinary moment into something that actually matters. But Islam holds a truth about ordinary days that should change everything about how you show up to yours. Nothing done sincerely for Allah is ordinary. Not a single moment, not a single action, not a single interaction that happens in the course of your completely unremarkable Tuesday. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said something that every person who has ever felt invisible in their ordinary day needs to hear. Do not belittle any good deed. Even meeting your brother with a cheerful face. Do not belittle any good deed. Even a smile. Even a kind word given to someone who did not expect it. Even a moment of patience shown in a situation where impatience would have been completely understandable. Even a dua whispered in the quiet of a commute that no one around you even knows is happening. All of it recorded. All of it carrying weight in the sight of Allah that this day alone cannot reveal. Think about someone who spends their morning commute in the remembrance of Allah instead of scrolling through their phone. They arrive at work. The day looks completely ordinary from the outside. No one around them knows what those quiet minutes contained. But Allah knows. He recorded every word of that dhikr. He weighted it. He placed it in the scale of a life that is being written moment by moment, ordinary moment by ordinary moment, into something that will only be fully understood on the day when everything is revealed. Your day today is full of those moments. The patience you show to a difficult colleague, recorded. The kindness given to someone who cannot repay it, recorded. The honest words spoken when dishonesty would have been so much easier, recorded. The prayer offered in a quiet corner of a busy day, recorded. None of it is small in the sight of Allah. None of it disappears into the unremarkable blur of another ordinary Tuesday. All of it matters. All of it is being written. And the life that is built from those ordinary recorded moments is anything but ordinary. We have walked through 7 truths together this morning, and I want to end with the most foundational one of all. The one that makes every other truth possible. The one that sits underneath everything else we have said, quietly holding it all up. The one that, if it truly lands in the heart, has the power to change not just how the morning begins, but how the entire day is lived. Last night, when you closed your eyes, nothing guaranteed you would open them again. That is not a dramatic statement. That is simply the truth. Somewhere in the world last night, someone closed their eyes with the same plans you had, the same responsibilities waiting for them in the morning, the same people they were going to see, the same ordinary day they were going to walk through, and they did not wake up. But you did. Your eyes opened this morning. Your lungs filled with air. Your heart continued beating through the night without you having to ask it to. Your soul was returned to your body. A return that is not automatic, not guaranteed, not owed to you in any way. It was given by Allah as a gift before you had done a single thing to deserve it, before you had prayed a single prayer or said a single word of gratitude or made a single intention about how you would use this day. He gave it to you anyway. And that, before anything else, before the weight and the worry and the to-do list and the difficult conversations and the financial calculations is the most important thing that happened to you today. You woke up. Think about someone who rolls over when their alarm goes off, grumbling about the early hour, the cold floor waiting for their feet, the long day stretching out ahead of them, the same routine, the same responsibilities, the same ordinary life. And then, just for a moment, a thought arrives. Last night, someone in this city closed their eyes and did not open them. And I did. I am here. I have another morning, another chance, another day with the people I love, and a deen that guides me, and a creator who is still calling me toward him. Alhamdulillah. And suddenly, the alarm, the cold floor, the long ordinary day, all of it looks different, not easier, not suddenly free of difficulty or weight or uncertainty, but different, blessed, worth showing up for completely, worth giving fully, worth living with every ounce of presence and gratitude and intention that this morning, this gift deserves. You woke up today before the worry, before the weight, before anything else about this day. You woke up, and that is not a small thing. That is everything. Alhamdulillah. Before this reminder ends, I want you to sit for just a moment in what you now carry that you did not carry when we began. You came into this reminder with a weight, that familiar morning heaviness that arrives before a single step has been taken or a single word has been spoken. The anxiety of the unknown day pressing down before it has even properly begun. And now you have 8 truths to meet it with. Not affirmations invented from within. Not sentences designed to trick the mind into temporary positivity. Truths already real, already written into the fabric of what Allah has designed for the life of the believer. This day was written before you were born, and the one who wrote it has never once made a mistake. Allah is with you in every moment of it, and He is sufficient. Your provision is already guaranteed by the one who has never forgotten a single creature He agreed to provide for. Whatever comes today, you have direct access to the most powerful help in existence at any moment you need it. Your struggles are not punishment. They are process. And the one doing the work knows exactly what he is building. You are enough for what today requires, because Allah designed you for it. What you do today matters beyond today. Every sincere moment recorded and weighted in ways this day alone cannot reveal. And you woke up this morning, which is itself a gift that deserves the most sincere alhamdulillah your heart can offer. 8 truths, already yours, already real, already waiting every morning to be remembered. Ya Allah, as we step into this day, be with us in every moment of it, in the difficult conversations and the uncertain outcomes and the quiet struggles that no one around us sees. Ya Allah, bless our provision, ease our anxiety, transform our struggles into elevation, and remind us in every moment that we are never facing anything alone. Let us move through this day with your remembrance on our tongues and your trust in our hearts. And let us return to our pillows tonight, having spent this gift of a day in a way that pleased you. Ameen. If these 8 truths gave your morning something it was missing, share this reminder with someone who wakes up heavy, someone whose mornings begin with weight rather than warmth, someone who needs to anchor their day to something stronger than anxiety. Because the most powerful things we can tell ourselves every morning are not things we invented. They are truths about Allah that we are finally remembering. And remembering them changes everything. Drop where you are watching from in the comments below. Let us know you are here. Because every morning we remember Allah together is a morning that begins exactly as it should.